Welcome to the Midnight Entrepreneur.
Let's crush it.
Jesus, fuck, scared me. Should we leave it in?
Your call.
I'm your host, Easton Bennett, alongside my fellow co-host, Tyler Stinden. We are both entrepreneurs who are learning, growing, and building our own businesses. Our goal is to share our experiences and knowledge to help you grow and become a successful entrepreneur. Strap in. Before we get started, if you have any questions or things you'd like us to cover or answer, you can email us at themidnightentrepreneur@gmail.com. And if you'd like to join our business Discord, where we talk about wins, business problems, or general questions, shoot us a message and we will get you in there. Tyler, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, Easton. We had a short week this week in terms of the 9 to 5 because of July 4th. So we had a lot of tasks and was really busy at work, really busy outside of work, just trying to catch up, get above water and not be drowning anymore. But yeah, it's been a fairly busy. How long has it been? Has it been over a week since we last filmed? I feel like it's been a while because we batch recorded a few, but it's been busy the past little bit. What about you?
It's been good. I suppose you had a American-based company. You didn't have to work Monday, Tuesday?
Yep, got that off.
Long weekend. There you go. You're getting a lot of shit done. You were texting me while I was getting nothing done. But things on my end are going good. Had shoots all of last week. And then again, the 4th of July holiday, which was nice. Before that, we must have batch recorded because I was in Vegas and then had softball. I think it's been a little bit. This feels a little foreign to me looking around, seeing all the lights, but things are good. Had a few shoots, filming on Friday, which is a little abnormal at the end of the week. Had a good mastermind this morning and getting some edits cranked today. Got some invoices sent out. So things are going swell, Tyler.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I know I talked about it on the last episode because it was coming up, but I just had my first discovery call. I think it was last week. It was right after we recorded. So I think that's about how long it's been since we recorded because that's what I talked about last time. But I had that. Not really sure how it went, but it was good timing in the terms that I listened to one of Alex Hormozi's podcasts where he talked about all of his sales trainings that he wished he recorded when he was becoming Alex Hormozi, because he said he went through thousands and thousands of recordings and he thought it would have been sick if he had all those recordings. I had my AirPods in, but I did record it so you could hear my end. So I probably didn't go great, but it's the first one. I haven't heard back from him. I might reach back out to him and be like, hey, have you had time to consider that? Maybe we can figure something out where it'll be beneficial for both of us. But yeah, I had the first discovery call, so that was quite the thrill.
Not might reach back out, Tyler. You have to reach back out.
There is no do. Or there is no try, it's only do.
Exactly. Sound like Yoda. But yeah, I mean, good that you got the first discovery call out of the way. You should have followed my script. Would have been.
I somewhat did. I asked him. I personalized it because it was a different circumstance, I would say, compared to like what you have for that thing, because I feel like yours is more cold outreach where this was warm and he was specifically looking for it, and he's like reached out to me and he's like, hey, can we see if there's a good partnership here? So I did ask a lot of the probing questions to figure out what he wanted, his goals and all that stuff. So there was a lot of the stuff that I did use in the script. It was just, I think the price might have turned him off, but I mean, he was asking for a lot, like 2 to 4 posts per day. That's a lot, man.
Gotta ask for that budget, baby.
I know. So it's a give and take. It's like, do I want to go low and actually get the client and then it's just me being overworked, or do I want to go what's in a fair range? And I feel like I want in a fairly fair range.
Yeah. Usually when you get the budget and then if they say it's lower, then you're like, oh, well, our base prices start at XYZ. And then that's an easy way for you to just be like, I don't want to have you as a client. I don't want to overwork myself. But first one, never going to go perfect. It's only going to get better from here. So that is good to hear. What else you got, Tyler?
Yep. Yeah. And then I also had an intro call with my buddy's mom. She owns a business. And I think the cool thing about her business is that it's extremely scalable, where she has a lot of automations built in. So she has Google Ads running right now, but the company that set it up doesn't actually run Google Ads. They're like, sure, we'll just set it up and just let it run. So I'm going to be going in there. We met, and now we got another meeting coming up, and we're just going to go in the back end and see what's going on with it. And then I'll offer some of my inputs there, and we'll potentially go from there, and she might hire me on. And hopefully she does. That would be nice to finally get that first client, because I've been waiting on it. Those beats are calling my name. And so we got that coming up on Tuesday. So hopefully I feel like when we're in the back end of Google Ads, she'll see my expertise, and hopefully that'll speak for itself. And then I know today on our mastermind, we talked a little bit about pricing and how I should position myself. So I think that helped a lot. And yeah, I don't know like what she would expect for pricing, because what I currently found out was that they're currently paying $40 for the people that's currently hosting, but I don't think they do anything. I think they literally just host her website. So I'm not sure if saying, like we discussed, like $500 to $1,000 is going to be, but the good thing about her business is that it's extremely scalable. So if we are able to create converting campaigns, that it doesn't really require much of her time, because it's like, okay, this client just comes in and it's just in and in and in. So, and then it's just scaling her thing up from there.
What is her business?
It's a background screening and fingerprints. So the fingerprints are in person, and that's not as scalable, but the background screening is extremely scalable, and a lot of it's automated. So if someone signs up for it or wants to get someone's background screened, I don't know how, but all I know is that it's extremely scalable, and that she doesn't really have much time, effort that goes into it, which is good.
For all those criminals out there in Windsor, Ontario?
No, it's not for that. It's if someone's going for a job, and say Walmart requests a background screening on this person to see if they're good. So it's not really, it is to see if they are a criminal or have like any past history or whatever. So, but yeah, it's a business, it's B2B. So it's a business coming, like the HR person in this business coming to her looking for a background screening.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I mean, that part is definitely scalable if you can just have people automatically go to a website and get a background screening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a moneymaker right there. New Frame, how are things going with New Frame besides the 2 calls?
Yeah, it's going, I wouldn't say great, but I'm doing a lot, which is good. I'm building that foundation. And I'm pretty sure on the last call we talked about it, where I'm trying to build the foundation before I actually start to reach out to people. And I said it might be an excuse. Now the foundation's done. Now I don't have any excuses. I can still add on stuff to like what you said with the stuff can always keep coming up, but I'm at the point where I have everything that I wanted done. So now it's up to me to actually go out there and put in the work, because I got my blog done. I got podcast episodes done. I got podcast episodes filmed for future. I got YouTube videos. Those I don't have any filmed for future videos. So I got to get back onto that grind. And yeah, so I got the foundation built. It's just cold outreach now at this point. So I'm really busy there, like I was saying. So it's going good.
I'm excited for this next chapter, the cold outreach. That's the scary part.
Yeah, it's the shitty part. I was thinking this first round, I said I was gonna do 7 cold outreaches this week, and I was just gonna try and come up with one fairly same email where it's just reaching out to them and just offering, hey, I don't know what I would say yet, but just thinking about that. And if I do get any replies, and what are the replies, and then it's just tweaking it from there. And then maybe at one point, if I'm not seeing any return there, I might have to go out and be like, hey, if you guys are running any Google ads or don't see a good return on investment, I'm willing to hop on a 15-30 minute call. I'll go through the back end of your Google ads and just run through, see what you guys are currently doing, and offer my input. And that's a good way to get it like an introduction with them, where we can hop on a call together. They can see my expertise, and then it's just kind of going through their back end and then maybe that will lead to a potential partnership in the future.
Have you thought about recording like free walkthroughs of their stuff? Somehow see if you can because cold emails I feel like are hard to get a response rate. Where if you record something on Loom or what's the other one called? I can't remember what it's called. There's another one that I use where you pretty much record their website and say, oh, here's what I do differently, or this looks awesome here, a good thing for doing that.
But it's for a Google ad.
Can you go into like isn't there a dashboard kind of like Facebook ads?
You can't see their Google ads.
Maybe you can pull up some of their competitors on Google and say, hey, I see you're not running any Google ads. And then you have a quick spiel.
But at the same time, if they're doing it properly, depending on what their service is, if their service is only local, I shouldn't be able to see them or their competitors if they are doing it properly. So maybe what I could do is, if they are doing it improperly, I could be like, you guys serve this region. You're only taking people from your region, and I'm not in your region, and I'm getting your Google ad. You guys fucked up. Let me help you out.
I like that.
That would be a good way to do it, but I can't. Google ad. It's the same thing with Facebook. I mean, you can see people's Facebook ads. I actually just made a short form content video on this. I don't know if you saw it today, but just how you can creep your competitors. What is it? Facebook ads.
I know there's something on like Meta. I haven't seen the video. I haven't been on my phone very much, but there's something where you can go to like Meta business ads or something like that, and then search whatever, and all the ads pop up if they've ran any, if they're running any.
Something like that. You can actually go on their profile, and then they might have made it so they have to be transparent with like what they're currently running, and you just go on their Facebook page, you click about ad transparency or page transparency, and then it's all there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to. I mean, I'll go watch it after this, but yeah, I would go more so with the email, like try to add a little something, because I get cold emails all the time and just literally never answer any of them. So if you can create something that says personal video for David as a subject, and then it's a quick like, hey, you're not doing this wrong. You should be doing this, the other thing. If you need help, let me know, or whatever your pitch is. That adds a little bit more than, hey, I'm Tyler from Windsor and I do Google ads. It's like, okay, no one cares. But if you lead with value.
I do like the idea that you just gave me, because if they are doing it improperly, then I can be like, okay, you guys are doing this wrong. Let me help you out.
Yeah.
I do like that idea.
Are you going to focus solely on Google ads for New Frame, or are you going to do Facebook?
I think it's easier. I can actually, I thought you were going to do other areas, but yeah, I think so Facebook ads is a little bit more difficult because you actually have to come up with the creative. So, I mean, at the same time, Google ads, you have to get a little bit of buy-in with the client, and you need pictures. But if they don't have any pictures, then you can just use stock photos. So with Facebook ads, you might have to create a video, or you have to create a picture or graphic or whatever it is. So there is a little bit more buy-in. But like we were talking about on the mastermind, there's a setup fee. So that could just be baked into like the Facebook ads. You don't typically get a lot, at least I don't. I've never really seen a lot of people do cold outreaches for Facebook ads. Maybe they would just do it not through emails. They would maybe do it through like Facebook DMs or Instagram DMs. I'm not really sure how they would do it, but I feel like I don't get a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to look into, though, if you got the Google ads and then maybe you branch into Facebook ads. But no, that's good. Excited for you to start reaching out to people, hear how that goes. As far as my end goes, got my editor rocking and rolling with a few projects. My employee that works for me that's not an editor has reached out to me the other day and said, hey, I want to learn how to edit he can make more money. And I said, that is awesome news. So I'm going to give him my login to Full-Time Filmmaker. He can learn how to edit, start pushing some projects his way, even if he can just get the project started. Take some of that time away will be ideal. So that is exciting news. I forgot to mention that in the mastermind, but he texted me yesterday, wants to do that. And then as far as Bismarck partner, projects are starting to flow a little bit more. We're shooting some things. We had 3 shoots last week. We got a full week's long shoot next week. So pretty exciting stuff there. He's pushing over some of the editing so I can start to see the transition that we talked about probably a year ago actually starting to happen a little bit more. So that's exciting. But other than that, not a ton happening on my end.
How do you anticipate going about paying your employee when he does start to learn how to edit, and how do you see that process going?
So I think what I'll do in the beginnings is, hey, you pretty much have to learn the interface and the shortcuts and all the basics yourself. Yeah. You can have like all my resources, all the logins for my courses and everything, and learn. And then I want you to at least have a week or two figuring out things. And then once he actually knows the interface and how to cut things and all that fun stuff, I can start to pay him to do some of the culling. So I just shot an event. If he could just go through that, get the project set up, go through all the footage, sync all the footage, cut through all the interviews, all of that stuff, maybe find a couple songs that work. That will save me, 2-3 hours a project. And then I can pay him for that. So that's probably how I start in the beginning. And then, if he starts killing it, I can say, okay, now start trying to piece things together. And then obviously the story structure is probably the hardest to learn, of how a story flows, and editing on beat, making sure you're picking the right shots. One thing I see with a lot of amateur editors is they pick shots that like they're shaky footage, or they let the shot go for too long, where those things I'll just have to teach him. It's hard to explain all that to him right at the beginning. But yeah, once he starts figured out, ideally I can push everything to him, and then I can sound design and color grade, maybe make minor tweaks here and there, and then good to go. And then I can pay him less than I have to pay North Carolina editor. Obviously not going to be the same quality for a while, but at least it can get to a digestible point.
So would you be giving him a pay raise, or would he be working more hours, or how would that work?
I'd probably give him a pay raise, and then maybe more so pay him by the project instead of, because right now he hasn't worked in like 3 weeks. One, because he's been gone, I've been gone. And he was in Paris, and then I was in Vegas, and then I was at McQuaid's, and last week I was gone shooting. So he doesn't come with to Bismarck on a shoot, and I don't have any pieces of content filmed for him to post or schedule, because all he was doing before was just scheduling things. So ideally I'd like to have him at a higher capacity, and if he can start editing things, that'd be better. Even if I have to have him start editing internal talking head videos and YouTube videos, that would be better. But yeah, I'll pay him a little bit more if he can figure out how to edit. But when you're doing the job of a monkey on scheduling posts, it's hard to pay someone.
Speaking of that, I feel like you need to get back onto creating some short form content, along with getting that van video out.
Van video is literally edited and finished on my hard drive, and it has been for 3 weeks.
Get it posted, my man.
Someone commented yesterday, and they're like, let's see the full tour. And I was like, I'll give you my hard drive. But yeah, I should probably just post it, because I finished everything, and then I just haven't literally uploaded it to YouTube. So maybe I'll do that for next week. I just forget about it. I got to add that to my list. That's the one thing, like on my Asana. I have Asana, but I don't have a thing for personal content yet. So I think if I add that, that should help a little bit. But yeah,
you know what I started doing? I don't know where it's at, but maybe it's on like the home screen or something, where you can just add tasks. And I'm going to try and pull it up really quick, because I didn't really, so it's on like the home screen is like, click here to add a task. And then it just automatically assigns it to yourself. So I started doing that instead of like, because I do write on my whiteboard upstairs, but what I've realized is I barely look at that thing. So there's a lot of stuff that's been popping up, and I just started added stuff in there, and then it just gets assigned to me. Whereas with my other projects that I have on Asana, I just add stuff in there and I don't actually assign it to myself. So it's like, if I want to go to a podcast, what podcast ideas do I have in here? What YouTube ideas do I have in here? But nothing's really assigned to me. So in that one area, maybe I have to create a social post for a blog. Then I just add it in there real quick, and then it gets assigned to me, and then I just click my tasks.
Yeah, your Asana is a little bit different than mine, because the add task I use is just the client names. And then on the right side, I have a workflow for it. So I never change. Once it's a task added, I go through the whole workflow in the drop-down box. And then once it's finished, the project is complete. And then that's when I check it off. So I use a little bit ass backwards.
Just one-off projects. I think I'll send a screenshot after.
Okay.
It's just on the homepage.
I'll take a look. I don't even use the homepage, to be honest with you. I never look at that either.
I don't either. It's just the first thing that loads when I get into Asana. I usually go to the projects folder. But yeah, I noticed it and I was like, maybe I should just start adding that so I don't have to try and keep remembering and then I'll forget. And then it's like, okay, what do I got to do? What did I forget? So it's
run
been
upstairs, check the whiteboard, run back downstairs.
That's the thing. I don't even use it. I just updated it the first time in like a month.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of whiteboards. I don't know how people use them.
I mean, I would use it if I was maybe down here but once I moved my office downstairs compared to my room, like the only time I'm in my room is when I'm sleeping. So, and when I change, so I'm never in there anymore and I never look at the board. So, but if it was here, I would definitely use it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of whiteboards. I'll stick to that movement for sure. Tyler, let's get into this week's news story. We've been talking a little bit here. Instagram and Facebook, aka Meta, has dropped a new social media platform because they're running the other two so well. They thought, why not triple down here? It is Threads. People. It is Threads. Are they censoring people?
I know they have been with Instagram. You know, the C word. I don't know if we can say it without getting banned because people don't like you talking about it. I know a lot of people got banned and I don't know what else, but yeah, a lot of censorship.
Yeah, so I haven't seen any censorship on Threads yet. I'm sure there is if it's Facebook. So
you should probably just go on there and try and get censored. Be like, COVID was oh man, I said the word. It was a scam.
Honestly, I think you'd be shut down immediately. Be like, your Threads account has been deleted and there's a drone strike coming for your house.
Right. I'm just going to I'll create like one tweet. And I'll be like, I'm going to see what I can say and try and get banned and then just try and get banned because I know I'm not going to end up sticking with it because it's literally, so getting into the topic, it's literally a copy and paste version of Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, it looks a little bit different, but the functions and everything is literally pretty much Twitter, except you can't DM people. I realize that. No,
they'll add it. They'll add it soon enough.
Yeah, they're trying to. This is just kind of like a base model. And then there was another thing. Oh, you can't search by like trending topics or anything. Where Twitter, you can do that as far as news stuff goes.
That'll get added probably too because they gotta filter. They gotta filter information for us that they want us to believe and see. You know, all the other conspiracy stuff and censorship. So
I wonder what the reasoning for them wanting to start this was. Just to compete with Twitter.
Maybe I always hear everyone complaining about Twitter and how bad it's doing, but then you hear Elon, straight from Elon, talking about how great it's doing. So I think that's why. I think Twitter is truly doing really good, and the fact that Elon made it very free speech there and not a lot of censorship, I think that brought in a lot more people. And I think the fact that Elon owns it now, I think that brought in a lot of his fans. I know I started going on Twitter. I started posting for a little bit, but then gave up after like a week. But I think the fact that Elon bought it, I think he has a lot of fans and a lot of loyal people that actually go on there. So I think Twitter is truly doing really good compared to what everyone's saying. Like I know in the media, like I don't know if you saw it, but BBC interviewed Elon Musk and they tried to make it seem like Elon's evil, Twitter's bad, and there's so much hate going on there. And then Elon just asked the guy, he's like, so what type of hate comments are you seeing? And then the guy couldn't answer. And he just kept deflecting. He's like, so you haven't seen any? He's like, no, yeah, I've definitely, it's definitely increased. And he's like, so give me an example. He's like, well, I don't have any. So it's just the media trying to portray that Twitter's not actually as good as it says it actually is, and maybe just trying to keep you on these American platforms that the government owns and tracks you on, such as Facebook and Instagram. So
political agendas.
Yeah, we can get into conspiracy and talk about all that stuff, but
it's on the Patreon.
I also heard that Twitter might be suing or filing a lawsuit against Threads for copying and pasting their platform. So I don't know if that's going to be going through, but that's something that I heard as well.
I wonder if you can, like, what can you sue for?
I don't know, intellectual property. I don't. So the thing with Twitter, a lot of people are creating these parody accounts, and I'm like 95% sure it was Elon Musk and not a parody account. And he talked about he's like, I like competition, but stealing something is not okay. And so I think they actually did steal like some intellectual type of property. So there's obviously going to be, I'm assuming, grounds for them suing. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but yeah, that's just what I've heard, and I'm pretty 95% sure that Elon Musk tweeted out that something
Elon's
that
burner.
He's not a fan of. Yeah, right. Maybe he created the parody account.
Yeah.
Elon Musk parody. I've seen some funny ones out there. It's pretty good.
I love a good burner account. I should make one.
You should.
That, and then, yeah, I mean, maybe that's what Zuckerberg was talking about with the fight, how they were going to fight. They were going to fight over social platforms.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, if that's why he said, let's fight Elon, and that was like a marketing play, because everyone started talking about Mark and Elon and like throwing down. And now maybe that was like a build up and a lead up to Threads coming out where it's competing with Twitter. And I don't know if that was actually intentional or if that's the purpose of it, but that's one thing that I thought about when that happened.
Yeah, no, I think everything's a marketing play in the end. So it's always weird to see these big name celebrities talking about, well, not specifically fighting, but when they make things like that in the news where it's like, oh, now these two people are in the news. It's like, oh, I wonder why. Mm-hmm. There's got to be some ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think of Threads?
I
know you said you liked it.
I liked it like my first 20 minutes scrolling through it, but like I like Twitter too, so it's the same shit. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't went on it today, so I went on TikTok today. So TikTok's still the ruler of all.
Probably. Maybe that's why they're trying to. Yeah, I don't know. I know we talked about it on a previous episode where they're trying to ban TikTok. So it's just, we can get into conspiracy theories here, but I don't know.
That's for a different podcast.
Social media guru. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this week's topic. Quick money versus guaranteed money. So all these gurus out there telling you how to make a fast buck. Tyler, what are your thoughts on the whole get rich quick versus get rich for sure mantra?
I think if anyone says this is going to get you rich quick, I think you should maybe run away, because I don't think there is a such thing as get rich quick. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. And if they are saying that, they're probably selling a course. But basically what I think we mean when we say that, it's like quick to market, and you're trying to force something that's not necessarily ready to be there yet. And you're just trying to be the first mover advantage type of deal, and you might not have everything built up in the foundation and you being ready. So I think that's what I mean. I mean, what do you think you mean for quick money versus guaranteed money?
Yeah, I think exactly that. And I like to go on the whole thought process of people selling a course, because I think it's funny. All these people you see on TikTok, the TikTok gurus and the Instagram wizards of, oh, this is how you can get rich by doing this drop shipping thing, and you can make this much money in 15 days. Just buy my course. And it's like, okay, well, there's where you're making all your money. And that's not saying that all courses are bad. I've taken courses. A lot of them are valuable. But it seems the whole get rich quick thing, if you believe that, you're so naive to think that anything works within a month. Yeah, you might catch lightning in a bottle here and there, but everything takes so much longer than you actually think. And I think it pays off more in the long run when you're getting money. It takes a little bit longer to build rather than just, oh, I made this amount of money over 2 months.
You're gaining a lot of experience through all that, where you're learning, you're failing, you're growing. And I think that's a huge part of being able to be successful, say guaranteed. You have to go through all those, you have to get those scars, and you have to learn the process, gain all these experience. And I think that's just part of the process in getting rich. And it's funny you say these TikTok gurus where they're selling the courses, where I know one of our first few episodes that we talked about where the guy was talking about, I'm going to make $1 million by Christmas time selling this product or whatever. And then he finished the video by saying, but you're not going to do that because you're a lazy piece of shit. And it's like, how did it go from you making $1 million to me being lazy?
Yeah.
And it's just like him trying to sell you on buying his course, where a lot of these TikTok gurus are saying, buy my course and you're going to make $1 million. It's like, if you can guarantee that or say that that's going to happen, why aren't you doing that?
Why aren't you just going full force trying to make $50 million doing it instead of teaching people to do it? That's what I view it as.
Exactly. And a lot of the times I like to think, when I'm paying for coaches, like, this is one thing that I've struggled with, and looking at them and being like, do they have the life I want to live? And a lot of the times you're seeing these TikTok gurus, they might be faking this life where they're trying to have this luxurious type of life. Oh, I'm in Dubai. Oh, I'm in Thailand. Oh, I'm driving this Lamborghini. Oh, I'm not working today because I make $1 million a day. And are they really, because of what they're preaching? And a lot of the times I don't think they are, because they're selling this course and they're trying to live this lifestyle. Like, you don't actually see their bank account. Like, their bank account could be like -$1 million. Their bank account could be like -5. Maybe they have parents that are trust funds. They're like trust fund babies. So you never really know exactly how they got there and what they actually do. So I think that's one area that's why I like paying for someone like Andy and Ed, because they've been in business for 25 plus years. And it's like, okay, I'll learn from them.
Yeah. I think there should be an app where you can see how much money is in an influencer's bank account.
Yeah, if you want to sell courses, you have to be on this program that shows everyone else. This is everyone how much money you make and where you make it from.
Or the claims you're making. I can help you make $1 million. It's like, okay, well, you have to prove you made $1 million, then show me your pay stubs or your bank account or whatever it is.
Yeah. Or you have your actual testimonials from people that have actually made it, and then all the other ones that don't make it.
I just like because the course I'm in right now, it doesn't say I'll make you $1 million. It says, hey, this is how you can be a videographer and make 6 figures a year, which is realistic. The things that are unrealistic is where I get, that's wild. You know, taking the course I took, it's like, well, I already made 6 figures last year, but there must be sharing some sort of secrets to get these people from 30,000 to 100,000, whatever it is. So I like seeing those things that are actually, okay, this feels more attainable than I can turn you into a millionaire in 6 months. It's like, no, you can't. It's fucking impossible.
Doesn't he have a guarantee as well where you're guaranteed to increase X amount, or else we'll stick with you?
Doubling the price of what you pay for a year. Otherwise, they work with you until you do double it. Gotcha. So that's pretty sweet. Are you going to hit that? Yeah, I've already hit it. So.
Oh, yeah. Right on. There you go. Halfway through the year.
Yeah. So now I should just cancel the program.
Do you think it's paid for itself?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sick of still paying it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's till the end of the year, I think. Or no, maybe till January. February is the first month, I think. I don't know. But yeah, gotcha. I mean, they called me a couple months ago and saying, hey, we could let you pay it off for a discounted rate. I was like, I still don't want to do that. It's like 17 or 18K. I was like, ugh. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Have you ever figured out the lifetime value of customers for your business?
I look at it usually at the end of the year. So what I do is make a spreadsheet of all the clients I've worked with and then update it. And like, how much money has that person paid me over this duration? And the ones that are at the top that have paid me the most money and also coincide with the longest amount of time I've worked with them, usually they go hand in hand. Those are almost the clients I prioritize, not like throughout the year, but prioritize to make sure that they're happy. And is there anything else I can help you with video wise? And almost, you know, if you're going to give some extra deliverables that aren't on a contract, it's going to be to those people. So that is something I do at the end of the year is I'll make a spreadsheet of all my clients, how much money they've invested with us, and then go a little bit above and beyond if I can for them.
So do you actually have like a number of like what the average dollar amount of what your lifetime value? No.
I don't think so. No, I don't even know how you calculate that. I mean, you can in retail company, or like if you're selling t-shirts, how many orders does the average customer place? But I guess I don't know how you'd calculate that service space wise. I'm sure there's a way.
I feel like you would just take all your clients, add up their totals, and then divide it by the amount of clients that you have. And then that's the lifetime value, is my guess. Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, but the lifetime value, how does that work going into the future? I suppose. So if it all divides out and it's like $2,000, yeah, then it's every client's worth $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose you could do that. But how does that work if you're raising prices? I guess the LTV should go up.
Yeah, I think it would just slowly increase over time, is my guess. Because I know with I think it's the same thing with product-based business, because the more customers you get, the more they might be buying, and their lifetime value just increases. So maybe like it's just at 1,000, and then you start gaining more customers, and then they start buying more, and then it slowly creeps up to 1,100, 1,500, 2,000. So I think it just increases over time, and depending on where you are in your journey. So I don't know. I just think that's a very important metric to talk about, especially with get rich quick versus guaranteed. Because I know these TikTok gurus, they probably aren't building good relationships with, say, all the people that are buying their courses, because maybe these people are realizing that they're kind of full of shit. And then all of a sudden, now they're building a bad reputation. And then they're giving them a bad experience. And getting off the topic of TikTok gurus, say you're a service-based business or you have a product-based business and you're just rushing to market, and then all of a sudden you're giving the client a bad experience, and then they're going to end up going and talking to people because this was such a bad experience and no one deserves to have this shitty experience. So it's like valuing the customer's lifetime value, and people might not realize that if they do try and rush it, because if you do get everything in place, you have you're able to build like this great experience for the customer. It helps build up that lifetime value. And I feel like for you probably have a pretty high lifetime value because you build that good relationship with your customers.
Yeah. And I think it does go down to building that relationship, because you can just go for the quick buck where you might not have things ready to go, but you're like, man, I just want this client, need some cash, whatever it might be. And you don't think about the long term. Whereas every single new client that I come on, I'm like, okay, how can I start building this relationship? So after we nail this project, they want to do another one. And then the year after that, maybe they want to do a retainer. How can we build this out into thinking about lifetime value versus I'm just going to make a quick buck. I don't really care about the client experience.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it can go both ways, because I know there's the one client that you always talk about where
demon,
in a sense, you had a bad customer experience with him. So then it's like, what's his lifetime value with you or with his vendors? Because maybe his vendors that he goes to, they don't end up having he doesn't have really a good lifetime value, because like, say, like you were saying, you go above and beyond for people that have higher lifetime values. If he had that poor experience with you, you're not going to go above and beyond for him.
Yeah. His lifetime value for me is $2,015, and it will stay there for eternity. His eternity time value is that. Yeah. I mean, it does go both ways, because the better experience you give someone is obviously good for your business. But if they give you a good experience, then they're going to want to work. How does that work? If you give them if they give you a good experience, and then the lifetime value for them is going to be if the business, oh God, I gotta look at the ceiling. I think the answer's up there. If the customer has a good experience with you, they're going to want to work with you more, which again gives them more value from you, and then you get more value from them monetarily. So yeah, it's a two-way street. There are clients that do come up where it's like, I don't give a shit. I want the quick buck. I'll take the quick buck. But if it's a client that you see, this is better to nurture and make sure that we get rich long term with this client rather than just, okay, give this invoice as quick as I possibly can. Usually I'd say 95% of the time I'm leaning towards how can I make sure that this client is working with me for the next 10 years so that we can get rich together. I can get rich and then you can get, whether it's rich or more clients or whatever it is. How can we build this relationship so we're not just trying to turn a quick buck?
Yeah, I don't even think it's thinking about how you can get rich. I know you've said this in the past where it doesn't matter about the client. You got to think of them as, if this is your only customer ever and the only way you're going to get more customers is through this person, giving them the best experience possible. Because if they have that amazing experience, they're more willing to go out there and tell someone about you and spread it. And then one person turns into two people turn into four turns into 8, and it just snowballs down. So it's just having that one customer. I feel like the one, that one project that I went on, you may have only thought it might have only been a one-off project, but I think the relationship there turned out to be really good. And I think the girl that was like in charge of like connecting you guys, she ended up like telling someone else about it because it was such a good experience.
Yeah. And I've actually this is a great example to bring up, Tyler, because I've already actually closed another job because of her. So she threw my hat in the ring for another project. And the guy reached out to me and said, hey, so-and-so mentioned you. Could you give us a quote? And I didn't get the full blown project. They went with the company that they used last year, but they had 2 days they needed help with an extra DP. And said it's a good relationship, or it's a good opportunity to build a relationship with the client here. So ended up getting a part of it, a piece of it, which I never would have had if I didn't do that original job and have a good experience there. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing you have to think about. Your experience with one client might translate to experiences with other clients too, because I know you got it on the notes here, but the best marketing strategy is good word of mouth. If you have one client and they're talking really well, the client over here, that's going to sell them 100% more than any ebook or podcast or YouTube video that they watch from you.
Google ad.
Yeah, any Google ad. That's going to sell them way more coming from someone that they trust and that they've worked with before.
Exactly. It comes down to that relationship, and I guess in a sense, it's the person in charge running the business, and then it's just creating that amazing product or service, and that just creates those raving fans that end up talking about you, spreading the word, and that's ultimately what you want to get to and build that up.
Yeah, because it starts with your personal experience. I know people always say the customer's first, but if you can build that foundation from the beginning of here's the product or service I'm offering, I'm going to make sure that it is awesome. Here's the experience my client or customer goes through when they get that product or service. If you do that from the beginning, build that foundation, that's going to be a hell of a lot better than if you just decide to rush and create this new business. And Tyler, you're going through this right now, but create this new business, get out there, start reaching out to people, and you don't really have a foundation to build on. Because if you were to start a business and just started asking for money and you didn't really know what your client experience was, how you're going to make sure that they're valued, that's where things get a little bit hairy and it's harder to build those relationships.
Yeah, and this just made me think of a point that it might look a lot more amateur, where you're not as professional in the delivery or the experience, and it might just rub off on them and be like, man, I feel like that guy doesn't know anything, because like they might just do the bare minimum, and then they might have had a previous time where they went with someone, or they go with someone in the future, and there's this whole process that they have built out, and it brings them through this great experience, and then they're like, wow, that guy kind of looked like shit. Or you're able to have that experience, you're able to have that all built up, and then when someone sees that, they're like, damn, this is impressive. And it's like, this might be part of like the onboarding process, but you're able to blow them away before you even start working with them.
Yeah, you just gave me an idea of how to better, we're just throwing ideas at each other here, but how to better, like if I almost had a client hub, you could call it, where everything is centralized. Like right now, it's a little bit ticky-tacky because it's like, okay, here's your videos on Google Drive. You have to download it here. Here's the folder structure that I've created on Google Drive. Okay, our documents are going to be over here. Whatever, it's all over the place, right? But if you had like a hub where you could almost like log into, Like, oh, here's the name of the client, here's the password. It logs in and you have your whole entire thing. That's probably long-term where you'd have to like, because I view it as almost like a website where it's more personalized and Bennett Creative Media branded and everything instead of like Google Drive. That might be kind of cool. And it's like, oh yeah, I just log into BennettCreativeMedia.com/portal and all my stuff's there. Might be kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't know what it made me think of, like a business idea, because I know there's apps out there for, say, fitness that you could download, and then you can like personalize it and make it with like your branding, your colors and all that shit. And made me think of something like that for Google Drive, where you can create it and it's your own personalized hub like you're talking about, but it's just all hosted on the drive. But it's like you're able to personalize it like with colors, branding, pictures, and all that shit. But I'm assuming Google doesn't want to do that because it's taken away from their branding.
I like that. I just wrote it down as a business idea. I might come back to it in 2 weeks. I'm gonna think it through a little bit more. Let it marinate.
All right, I like it. Do you want to have anything else to touch on, or do you want to jump into your actual business idea?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's a good transition to the business idea. This week's business idea, we've called it the Diner Finder. It's pretty low level thought process as of now. Honestly, just thought of it the other day, but I'm going next Sunday. When you guys are listening to this coming Sunday, I'll be going to Vegas with my girlfriend, a couple other couples, and I'm trying to find like a good steakhouse that is not super expensive and kind of has the Vegas theme I'm going for. Like, I don't want Asian cuisine. I don't want, I don't know, what's another Mexican, whatever. They don't sell steaks there, but there's a specific theme I'm looking for, like fancy restaurant, but it still looks kind of cool. I don't want like super old school where everything's freaking ugly looking. And I'm searching through all of these different Google links, all of these different articles, watched a ton of YouTube videos, even put a tweet out there a couple weeks ago that I got a bunch of suggestions on, but it's hard to find exactly what I want. And I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time doing this. I literally was just FaceTiming my girlfriend before this for like 20 minutes, like deciding what steakhouse would work, and none of them really worked. And I was thinking there could be an app. It'd be called the Diner Finder, and it's specifically on restaurants where if you're going on vacation anywhere, or you don't even have to be going on vacation, you could be a local, but it's almost like a search engine, but there are different filters, you call them, I guess, right? Where you say, okay, here's the city I'm going to. Here's the type of restaurant I'm looking for. Maybe it's, appetizers. Maybe it's a steakhouse. Maybe it's Mexican. You can type in your price range. So it's almost like searching for homes. You know how when you look for homes and it's like 350,000 or lower, you can do that with food. And maybe you can do like, okay, I want $200 or lower for 2 guests. And then you can do another thing. What's the theme? Are you looking for fancy? Are you looking for casual? Are you looking for grab and go? Whatever it might be. And then it filters through all of these restaurants. And we were mentioning before the podcast, if this is like Yelp, I haven't used Yelp a ton, but I think Yelp is just for reviews and it's not as much of a search engine. So really, I'm just looking for a curated place for these things to pop up instead of having to do a bunch of my own research through articles that maybe have paid endorsements on there. It's like, feature our steakhouse and we'll whatever. Because I saw a thing that had the #1 steakhouse in Vegas, and I've never even heard of it before, where everything else I saw was like Southwest at Wynn, Southwest at Wynn, Southwest at Wynn. And then this random one was not first on another list. I'm like, how's that even possible? So if you could curate a place to go on these restaurants and find it, that is what I'm looking for. The Diner Finder.
I'm looking at I'm looking at Yelp, and obviously Yelp has a bunch of other shit that you can search for. Like there's home services, auto services, you got hair salons, gyms, massage, and there is restaurants, and then you can go in there. There's a limited selection, I would say. So burgers, Chinese, Italian, Thai, Mexican, Japanese. And then there is also some filters that you can go through. But there's no real dollar amount. It's 1 money sign, 2 money sign, 3 money sign, 4 money sign. So obviously you can make it a little bit different with the filters and what's going on in there. And obviously this isn't specific to restaurants. This is everything. And I'm seeing like sponsored So I'm assuming you got to pay. They make a lot of money off paid, because like first thing I see when I go to burgers in San Francisco is Applebee's. It's like Applebee's isn't my first choice typically when I want to get burgers.
Exactly.
But those are both sponsored. But then once you scroll past all the sponsors, you got a couple here. You got like Native Burger, Uncle Boy. So you do have a couple different ones. And then obviously you can add in the price range. It looks like some of them don't have that. So it'd be interesting to think about if you integrated the filters a lot more, where you could actually have the price range and then the menus are on it, and then the
menus would be the big thing. That's the one thing I liked, because when I was looking through all these, I had to Google the website, scroll down, saw the pictures. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, now I have to find the menu. Okay, now the prices aren't on the menu, so now I have to search XYZ restaurant menu prices. Whereas if you could have a central hub really focus on just restaurants, that's where I think the money would be. And why do they do the stupid $, $2 signs, $3 signs? What does that even mean? Everyone has their own judgment of what $4 signs price is. Is it a $350 Wagyu steak, or is it a $90 filet? Okay.
I think it would just be like a range, So like one's McDonald's, two, I think it's like fast food, and then fast casual, fine dining. That would be my guess.
Yeah. But there should be like maybe most expensive item on the menu. That should be the thing. And then it's like, okay, I want the most expensive item on the menu to be $100. Okay. Because then I kind of know what kind of food I'm getting. I might get stuff from 20 to 100. If I don't know, then I'm getting I saw a thing today, a tomahawk steak, $750 for 32 ounces.
Do it.
It's like, holy shit.
Split that between a couple people.
Yeah.
72 ounces. Yeah. You can split that.
No, 32 ounces, $750.
No, 32. 32. You can split that between two people.
Yeah. The problem is I'm paying for both people.
Tomahawk.
Zero, probably. So what we decided is that if we hit big in Vegas on a slot machine or something, we'll go to one of the fine dining and get like a $200 steak.
Oh yeah.
But you got to hit 1,000 or more. Me too.
Oh, I hope you win. I'd like to see you go there. Enjoy the experience. It's all about the experience.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture. You're paying for at the same time.
I'll send you a picture of the one after this. You're going to send me a screenshot of your sauna. I'll send you a picture of the steakhouse. It's called Prime at the Bellagio, and it overlooks the Bellagio fountains. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. I'll send you a picture of what it is. But yeah, that's Diner Finder. Tyler, anything else for the episode? Someone make this, by the way. Fuck.
Make it by next week.
Yeah, come on. Make it by literally a couple days from now.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. You got to focus long term when you're building a business, and not so short term. And that's what I'm trying to get better at, because I feel like personally I've always struggled with this. It sucks to say that a lot of my judgments is based off of wealth and financials, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So it's like I'm trying to get there as fast as possible, but I need to realize that the right way is the slow way. So I'm gonna post that in the thread after. So take your time and what is it? Get rich for sure versus get rich quick.
Yep.
I forget what it is, but yeah, get rich for sure.
And I think it's doing things the right way. And really the things that you want to do quick is shorten the learning curve. Reach out to people that have done there, or been there. Like Tyler's asking me a bunch of questions about like pricing and all that stuff. He doesn't have to figure out the pricing as long as it took me, because I can help him a little bit. Now, obviously it's going to be, a little bit quicker than or a little bit slower than just picking a price and be like, okay, this is what I'm going with. But reaching out to people, figuring things out to shorten the learning curve on things that you don't have to experience to work through, where rather you can have someone else experience it and then learn from it, I think is really the things you want to do quick. But other than that, yeah, things take time, and just do it right. And it's better to be rich for sure than to be rich quick.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, anything else?
No, that's everything.
That's episode 45 of The Midnight Entrepreneur. If you have any questions you'd like us to cover or answer, email us at themidnightentrepreneur@gmail.com. If you found value in this content or found this entertaining, share this with a friend or post it on your story. If you really enjoyed the show, we'd love a rating and a review wherever you're listening. Talk to you guys next week for another episode of The Midnight Entrepreneur.
I have not failed. Man, I messed that up. Oh man, I said it right too. I have not failed. I have found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas A. Edison. Man, that sucked.
Thomas A.